Welcome to another local market update with Rick Batista. Welcome to another monthly market update. This week we're looking at how we wrapped up 2023. Before we get started, I'd like to apologize for taking a little bit of a hiatus for a couple months. Besides the holiday season, I was really hoping that our world leaders would get their shit together and knock off all this genocide nonsense. But after my face turned blue, I decided to keep doing my part on that front while getting back into the trenches here by keeping you informed, because with so many things going on with the economy now as well as in and around housing and across the globe, I'm committed to bring you pertinent information, facts, and frequent market updates. And I've got to confess something. I do find myself scratching my head about this market. I know what's going on. So I'm confused here and there. I can only imagine how you must feel. My commitment is to help you understand what your options are and how to make sense of it all so that together we can help you make well-informed decisions for you and your household, as well as your short and long-term plans, goals, and aspirations. So you know this video discusses both national and local data. The local data we'll share in just a bit is for Chicago proper, the 77 areas. And although we do service all of Chicagoland, including the Burbs, later in the video we're only going to dive into the city's data. So let's get started with some fun facts and take it from there. Fun facts, market time. Fannie Mae's Home Purchase Sentiment Index, HPSI, climbed nearly 3 points to 67.2% in December and was up 6.2 points year over year, according to the latest National Housing Survey. The rise was attributed to increasing consumer optimism about mortgage rates, with a survey high 31% of respondents indicating they expect mortgage rates will decline over the next 12 months. Homeowners in particular had greater optimism about the future of mortgage rates than renters, which could engage some would-be sellers to list their homes this year, helping to increase the supply of existing homes for sale. U.S. existing home sales rose from a 13-year low, climbing 0.8% from the previous month and breaking a 5-month streak in which sales declined, according to the National Association of Realtors, otherwise known as NAR. Despite the increased sales were down 7.3% compared to the same period last year, as affordability challenges continue to hinder prospective buyers. Most of this period's closed sales went under contract in October, when mortgage rates were at a 2-decade high. With rates having dropped more than a full percentage point since then, existing home sales may continue to pick up in the months ahead. New listings in the city of Chicago were down 15.8% for detached homes and 14.5% for attached properties. Listings under contract increased 5.2% for detached homes, but decreased 0.6% for attached properties. The median sales price was up 5.1% to $289K for detached homes and 13% to $335K for attached properties. Months of supply of inventory decreased 13.8% for detached units and 9.6% for attached units. We need more inventory. Low levels of inventory continue to impact U.S. home sales, offering few options for aspiring buyers to choose from. Going into December, there were 1.13 million units for sale, down 1.7% from the previous month, but up 0.9% from the same period last year for a 3.5-month supply at the current sales pace. As a result, sales prices remain high nationwide, with NAR reporting the median existing home price rose 4% annually to $387.6K as of last measure, the 5th consecutive month of year-over-year price gains. Home buyer demand is picking up, and without a significant increase in supply, experts believe home prices will likely remain elevated for some time to come. I would like to say this: we certainly have issues when it comes to housing, but I wouldn't go as far to say that we have a housing crisis. A crisis would be having our homes blown up. Crisis would be having to flee our cities, towns, and villages because of some superpower apartheid state. In this country, we got problems. I'll be the first to admit it. And when it comes to housing, so many people got problems as it pertains to affordability and or feeling safe in the home, property, or neighborhood they live in, et cetera, et cetera. But when it comes to low inventory and high interest rates, I'd categorize those as first world problems, not quite a crisis. Let's have perspective, work on the problems and challenges we face, and pay more attention to the real crises in our own backyard or around the world, because we're all connected and impacted somehow. Now it's time to wake up! The moment you've been waiting for. This information and data is provided by the Chicago Association of Realtors, covering the month of December 2023. Quick announcement: we'll be coming out with year-end wrap-ups for certain areas of the north side of Chicago, so be sure to stay connected and check those out, because we may be covering your neck of the woods. We're also working on restructuring some of our social media and online presence, so please follow us on all platforms, or your favorite ones, because we're really focused on creating community, whether it's online or in person, because we know that 1, we can't do it alone, 2, you're not alone in this, and 3, and most importantly, we don't want you to feel alone. So, where were we? Yes, let's first take a look at the Lender Mediated Report, which is a report that covers the residential properties in Chicago that were or are foreclosed, REO, pre-foreclosure, or short sale. Now, keeping in mind that we're coming out of the pandemic high where there was a moratorium for some time, numbers we see today are going to seem high comparatively, but we really need to put things in perspective. In 2023, we saw the market adjusting, normalizing. We're going to get back to seeing how the season impact the market, and we'll probably see that in 2024 and over the next few years at least. So the share of closed sales that were lender mediated in December came out to 4.6% of all residential sales. Higher than we've been seeing over the past year, yes, but I think it's safe to say that thanks to how foundationally sound the housing market is, it ain't perfect, but it is foundationally sound, there's no need to press the panic button. Moving right along to the rest of the data, we'll be looking at the last two Decembers, 2023 versus 2022, and then we'll be checking out the year-to-date numbers and show how 2023 as a whole compared to 2022 as a whole. So for the sake of time, we're only going to be looking at detached single-family homes. And let's get started here with key metrics. New listings in December 2023, we wrapped up with 704 single-family detached homes in Chicago. Compared to December 2022, we were down by 15.8%. Year-to-date, 16,345, down by 17%. Closed sales, we wrapped up the month of December with 656, up by 2.7% looking at the two Decembers, and 8,604, down by 16.7% year over year. Under contract, we wrapped up the month with 467, up by 5.2%, looking at both Decembers, and 8,689 year-to-date, down by 11.6 year over year. Moving right along here, median sales price, which as we talked about, and if you paid attention to some of the other videos or watched some of the other videos we watched that we've put out, median sales price, it can give you a quick glance, an idea of home sales and prices, but I would say that we're going to look at average sales price. That'll tell a much clearer picture, but it's here on the report, so let's cover it. Median sales price, $289K, certainly not reflective of Chicago home prices in many parts of Chicago, but just keep in mind the median sales price is that number that's smack dab in the middle, so the equal number of homes sold for higher than and equal number of homes sold for less than that amount. We were up 5.1% comparing both Decembers. 302,950 was the year-to-date number, down by 3.8% year over year. Now let's look at the real difference here. Average sales price, $409,600, still not reflective of many parts of the city, but up by 2.7% overlooking at both Decembers. Year-to-date, $441,746, down by 6.1% year over year. Average list price, which I believe this is very reflective of the confidence that homeowners have, certainly getting input from their listing brokers or agents for those that were sold on the MLS, and even perhaps if they were sold off the MLS. But average list price, I think, gives us a good insight into the mindset of sellers out there and seller confidence. Average list price was $377,365 for all of Chicago, up by 17.2% looking at both Decembers, and $502,562 year-to-date, up by 5.6% year over year. Percent of original list price received. This, I believe, is a great indicator of how attractive or appealing properties are, and or more importantly, cities are. If we're looking at data for the overall city or town or village, whatever the report is for, and certainly we can break down the desirability factor and level for specific areas and neighborhoods throughout the city, but this is overall Chicago. 96%, not too shabby, so sellers got 96% on average of what they were asking for, up by 1.1%, looking at both Decembers. 96.9% year-to-date, down by 0.8% year over year. Market time, another great indicator of how the market is doing, and great indicator of what kind of inventory we're dealing with out there. Average market time, days on market, 68 in last month, which was up by 3.4% if we're looking at both Decembers, and 68 year-to-date, which was up by 28.6% year over year. And again, market time with seasonality and the way the market has adjusted last year, we were certainly bound to see higher market time and days on market. And that's just something kind of that realistically that sellers have to be prepared for as they put their homes on the market this year and probably for the next couple of years as well. Inventory of homes for sale, we're just looking at the last two Decembers. We wrapped up the month with 1,862 detached single-family homes in all of Chicago, and that was down by 23.8% comparing both Decembers. So, what does all this information mean for you? Heck if I know. All depends on what's going on in your life and your household. Let's start a conversation and see how we can help you make the most informed decisions. If you'd like copies of any reports or slides we shared with you today, feel free to reach out. We are more than happy to share data and more detailed information with you about any one of the 77 areas of Chicago, Northern Cook, and even some parts of Lake County. You can call, text, or email. My contact info is below. And remember, love and money may come and go, but time is something we never get back. So I thank and appreciate you for sharing some of your time with me today. If you want to stay on top of the market with us, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And think of one person you believe would benefit from this information, then be sure to share it with them. As always, and now more than ever, take care of yourselves and each other. Don't forget to hug somebody today, and I'll catch you next time.